Cumanana, an Afro-Peruvian musical review. Experience the power of the African beats and the resilience of a people that spurred change in a culture. Victoria and Nicomedes Santa Cruz led the resurgence of Afro-Peruvian arts in the 1960s and 70s. Their efforts provided powerful resistance to their marginalization at a crucial moment in history. Be part of the movement, June 7th through June 25th at Gala Theater in Northwest DC. Information and tickets at galatheater.org. Today on CityCast DC, summer is finally here, and so too is the stress of trying to fit in every warm weather activity you dreamed about all winter. We're going to try to make things a little bit easier. Over the next 3 weeks, you'll be hearing our summer entertainment guide, presented by Clyde's Restaurant Group. It's recommendations for what to do in this city and how to do them best. Today, we're starting with grab your blanket and your popcorn because we're talking about outdoor summer movies. DC actually has a ton of outdoor movie options, so I sat down with Priyanka and Julia to discuss which ones are worth your time. Today is Tuesday, June 6th. I'm Bridget Todd, and here's what DC is talking about. Hey, Priyanka. Hey, Julia.
Hello.
Hi, Bridget.
The weather has been so nice, which is a great time to talk about one of my favorite activities in DC, which is outdoor summer movies. Really excited to get into it with all of you today.
Me too. In preparation for this, I was trying to remember which outdoor movies I've been to, like which locations in DC. And I have been to a lot. Like, I've always said that this is one of my favorite things about DC, but like, dang, I really live that life.
Is it bad that I've only been to like one specific location for an outdoor movie and just have like found the place and have just been like, no, at every other place? Is that bad? Does that make me a bad Washingtonian?
I don't think so.
I was going to say, I mean, I'm judging you personally.
Thanks, Priyanka.
But we'll get into it, yeah.
Priyanka, what is it about outdoor movies that you are so into?
I think that it is a really low-key activity that you can do after a lot of the outdoor movie screenings are on weekdays. And I think it's such a good evening activity. It gets you out of the house after you've been working all day, or I guess in the old times, out of the office. It is a way to take advantage of the weather. It's social, but not too social. It's like the exact right balance. I really love that you can make it whatever you want. Like, you can bring drinks if you want it to be like a little bit more of a party scene. You can go alone. You can go with friends. It's just like very variable and adaptable.
Those are all good reasons to love it. I'm definitely the kind of person who, if I'm going to an outdoor movie, I want the blanket, or I bring my own chair. I'm the person...
Yep.
If you've seen the Portlandia skit of the couple who's like setting things up, that is definitely me. Have my own chair, monogram, the whole works. I want an actual like picnic spread. I want wine. I'm not doing it if I'm not gonna do it, you know?
Okay. So you're like all in. You're not like seat of your pants, like, oh, like it's nice out, like let's go to the outdoor movie. You're like, no, we are planning for it. It's an event.
Yes, there's lots of prep involved.
Okay.
Wow.
Good to know.
That exactly plays into my point, because I usually go alone. I've done a few dates. I've gone with friends once, but I'd say the majority of the time when I go for outdoor movie screenings, it's me by myself. And like, I cherish that.
Every time I go, it's like, we've planned out the week a little bit, but we're like, you know what? Like, the weather on this day is supposed to be nice. This movie is something we've wanted to see for a little bit. Let's like go. And we'll bring like charcuterie or whatever, and sometimes a bottle of wine. But like, yeah, ours are like very low key. I feel like we run the gamut of what to do at these movies. We have Priyanka, which is like very base, low level, one person. You have me, who's like in between, and Bridget is like all out. It's a vibe. Let's go.
Exactly.
We're the three bears, and Goldilocks can choose.
Exactly.
The last time I went to an outdoor movie, it was memorable because it was in Adams Morgan, and I thought the movie screening was going to be Apollo 13, the Tom Hanks, astronaut movie.
Yeah.
When we arrived, it was actually Apollo 11, which is a very different movie. It's a documentary based around the footage, like the film footage that they shot at the actual moon landing. And so very different vibe. It was still pretty good, but I came expecting Tom Hanks, and I got a very long documentary.
But you were going to get your fill of outer space anyways. Like, they would not be denied.
Exactly.
That's so funny. I wonder how many other people there got kind of suckered into the documentary the same way.
Well, there were a lot of kids, and part of me is like, these kids don't want to watch this documentary.
There's no way. Well, I think Admo is one of the spots we should talk about. I mean, there's so many outdoor movie spots in DC. We can't possibly talk about them all. So I think we should pick 5 and then like rate them according to specific criteria and then get to come up with rankings at the end.
Okay.
Yeah?
Let's do it.
I'm in.
I say as someone who has probably not been to any of these, but that's okay. I'm like the free taste tester of all of this.
Yeah, well, and also you can rate/rank based on like location and what themed movies they would potentially get you to try a new place, right? So
that's true.
I propose that we do the Adams Morgan one, Roslyn, which they do at Gateway Park. Franklin Park is going to be having it this year. Union Market, which it might be the last year for, so I think it's worth a mention. And then Audi Field, where they're doing weekly movies. So why don't we start with Admo? What are your thoughts?
Well, I'm lazy, and it's pretty close to me. I live in Columbia Heights. It's at Adams Morgan, so it's an easy walk. I also like that it's at the soccer field at Marie Reed School, right at Adams Morgan. I like that the property is kind of like, it seems like it's designed for watching an outdoor movie, even though it's a soccer field at a school. Like, if I remember correctly, the field kind of slopes downward the same way that like a stadium seating might. And so I definitely like that. So for location, I'm going to give it a 5. I think it's a very good location.
This is literally across the street from the gym that I go to. So, like, you go to the gym, you get your sweat on, you go and you relax and you watch a little movie afterwards. 5. Very easy, very convenient.
All right, give us your movie thoughts.
Okay, so I am looking at this list of movie screenings. This year, they're doing comedy-inspired film series. I would watch at least 3 of these. Coming to America is one of my favorite movies of all time. Do I think it could be made now? Maybe not, but like, it's Eddie Murphy, and I love it. It's hilarious. Bridesmaids, I own the DVD. Of course, I'm going to go see it for free. And who doesn't love Shrek? Come on.
I do love Shrek.
That's like at least a 4. I haven't seen Raising Arizona or The Birdcage. It's been a long time since I've seen This Is Spinal Tap, though, so that might rope me back in. I'm giving this like a 4.
Well, as a like movie person, I've seen all of these movies. You should definitely see Raising Arizona because it's really funny. As is The Birdcage. R.I.P. Robin Williams. It might be one of his best. I will say this, as someone who's been to the Adams Morgan Outdoor Movie Series a few times, they have definitely stepped up their films. It was fine last time around, but they were definitely movies that were geared more towards kids. Nothing wrong with that. Totally understandable. It's a kid-friendly vibe at an outdoor movie. This time around, I think that they're definitely picking movies that are a little bit more mature, I guess. Or not mature, not like, it's not like R-rated comedies, but...
You're saying Shrek isn't an R-rated comedy? Come on, Bridget.
Well, I noticed that they're doing, like, on the schedule, it's like Shrek is for family night. But then, Bridesmaids, I would not call that a family movie, right?
No.
I see that they're mixing it up, so it's not just kids' movies, which I appreciate.
Yeah, I love the selection. I was getting really hyped up listening to you list them out, Julia. So I would also do a 5. Oh, wait, you did a 4. I would give it a 5. And what would you give it, Bridget?
Oh, 5.
Yeah. Okay, cool. All right. Well, then next up is Roslyn. So this one is at Gateway Park. It's actually pretty close to the Roslyn Metro. When I've gone, I've metroed in and then you walk, I want to say like 10 minutes or less. It was really easy to get to. And there's lots of restaurants in the area too, where you can grab food and bring it. And they have food trucks there. So for me, I'd say location, I'd give it a 4. And the only reason it's a 4 instead of a 5 is because the park isn't that big. And so it does get like really crowded when everyone turns up, which is not ideal, especially when you've got big groups with their charcuterie boards and everything. Like, you don't want to be sitting on top of each other while trying to watch a movie,
Yeah, that would ruin the vibe for me. Admittedly, I've never been here. The location, I suspect I would be a lower rating because I hate having to go into Virginia. No shade to Virginia. It's just far away. And as I said, I'm lazy. If I can't walk from my apartment, I don't like to go. But the way that you described it does sound enticing. I can't lie.
I mean, I don't know. Like, I feel like this is similar to DC dating, where it's like, if you're crossing the river, it better be worth it. And if it's packed and cramped and small. I don't know that I want to cross the river for that, you know? Like, I might give this a 2. Like, it might be because it's across the river. I'm sorry, Rosalind.
Yeah, fair. Bridget, what was your number?
Oh, I think I've never been, but hypothetically, I might be a 3.
Cool. For the movies, they've decided them this year like March Madness style. They had people vote, and they ended up going with Jumanji, Shrek, Moana, and The Parent Trap. So we've got Shrek at both. It's the 1995 Jumanji, which is an important specification because if it were one of the more recent ones, I'd be down, but the 1995 one scares me.
It's creepy.
Ooh, what? It's again,
creepy.
another Robin Williams classic.
I love Robin Williams, and I do think he does a great job in that, but I watched it as a kid, and it was traumatizing, and now
That's
I can't
fair.
watch it.
I think every outdoor movie listing, if they all have Shrek on their listings for this year, I'm going to explode because love Shrek. Moana, yes, I love The Parent Trap. I don't know that this is enough to pull me all the way out to Virginia, but this is like a solid 4 for me.
Well, the question is it the 1998 Parent Trap or the 1961 Parent Trap, the OG?
That's
Which one? We're going Lohan or are we going the original?
We're going Lohan.
Yeah. Yeah. I love these movies, but they wouldn't pull me all the way out to Virginia, so I'm a 3.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's tough. I see what they're going for. I love The Parent Trap. Could quote it all day long. I love Jumanji. I like that it's kind of a 90s vibe. Honestly, I don't agree with you, Julia. I think Shrek on 2 outdoor movie lineups a little uninspired, I think.
What if they all just did like Shrek 1, 2, 3, and 4? Like just Shrek only.
Oh,
yeah,
God.
it's like there should be some sort of situation with the city where it's like you can watch Shrek in outdoors in every quadrant of DC.
Only one outdoor movie screening. They all have to like fight to the death, and only one gets to air Shrek.
Exactly. There needs to be some kind of a system.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I might go 4 on these movies. Especially, I think that the Adams Morgan movie list is like starting very high. So comparatively, I do see what they're going for, kind of a 90s theme. I think I got to go 4.
So did you know about the Hamilton Live, which is the music venue, and it is right underneath the restaurant called the Hamilton. It's right by Metro Center, downtown, right by the White House. It is a place of live music, from pop to rock to blues to bluegrass to New Orleans jazz and jam bands. You can sit, you can stand, come early for dinner and a great show after. There is also in the room, there's like a standing area and high top tables, so you can actually watch and enjoy a drink and maybe even eat while you watch. This summer, they've got a bunch of shows they're excited about, including Keller Williams on August 3rd, Joan Osborne on August 5th, and Megan Maroney on September 23rd. You should check it out. Once again, that's the Hamilton Live, and if you are looking for it, just go to the Hamilton, which is a restaurant, and then go downstairs. The Hamilton Live.
Hey CityCast DC, it's Mark Kulkowski. While CityCast DC works hard every day to connect you with the stories that matter most, I'm working in the background making sure that our listeners are connecting with the best the DMV has to offer. So what does that look like? It means meeting with the people who make the district what it is, the business owners, the stakeholders, the decision makers, the Washingtonians who put together those food festivals you enjoy, the concerts you attend, the exhibits you can't miss, and who make those candles your mom can't stop talking about. So if this sounds like you, let me help you get your message out to the best audience in town with an ad right here on the CityCast DC podcast and on our sister daily newsletter, Hey DC. Send me an email at ads@citycast.fm and let's connect.
So we've got some conflicting opinions on Roslyn. Next up, we've got Franklin Park. So this is my favorite. I don't even need to know what movies they're showing. This is my favorite, like, outdoor movie screening shtick in DC because it's organized by this group called Can I Kick It? And they add their own symphony to the movies. So they like have a DJ, normally like a hip hop DJ, and then they score each film with a mix of hip hop and jazz and whatnot. So you have subtitles, and that's kind of like what you're relying on for watching the actual movie, but they've added their completely own music to it. It's such a vibe, and it's so creative and bizarre. I saw Tenet there for the first time. It was like the first time I'd seen that movie, which is a very confusing movie. And most people I know were like, I did not follow it. I swear to you, the music that they added themselves helped me focus better. So like I came away really understanding it, and I completely attribute it to them. So I'm going to be 5 on location and movies just based on the fact that I love these people.
Fair enough. Okay. So Franklin Park, in terms of convenience for me, yeah, it's close enough to me. I could metro there. Not too much of a hassle. Into it. This year they've got Black Panther Wakanda Forever, Mission Impossible, The Goonies, Hunger Games, Everything Everywhere All at Once, and then Shang-Chi and The Legend of the Ten Rings and Indiana Jones. I have not seen Everything Everywhere All at Once yet. I know I'm a bad person. I get it. You can roast me in the comments. I don't care. I bet seeing that movie that has like a David Byrne scored film with whatever they throw into that would be so cool. I feel like location, like a 4.5. Actual movie selection, I'm into it. I feel like the musical attribution, like a 4.5. I want to see what they do with it.
Yeah. Also do want to point out that like location wise, it's close to pretty much all the metros, because McPherson Square's right there. Gallery Place, Chinatown's right there. So it's extremely convenient from that sense.
I have to agree with you that this is my strongest contender in terms of vibes, because one of my favorite passions is kind of talking over a movie, or the understanding that there are several ways to enjoy and appreciate a work of art, like a movie, and silently watching it as intended is only one. You could also enjoy talking over Drag Race with my friends is one of my favorite activities, right? And so I like the vibe of you're meant to not necessarily appreciate the film as intended. We are supplementing the way that you are experiencing this film, and we're all doing it together. I think that is a very underappreciated way to enjoy a piece of art.
Yeah, I totally agree. Cool. So what would you score it?
I'll go 5.
Sweet. And movies?
Oh, I get what they're going for. I love Everything Everywhere All at Once. I do think that they kind of bill themselves as like cult classics. And I think some of these movies, I think it's a little bit of a stretch to consider them a cult classic. Like Wakanda Forever, love it. 10 out of 10, not a cult classic. I would love to see some more like weird, offbeat choices on this list to truly appreciate the vibe of it being a celebration of cult classic film. And I understand they have to still be like accessible, because it's, an outdoor. Who wants to go to an outdoor movie screening where it's, a very inaccessible movie? Actually, that actually sounds fun. I would go to that. But I think they could be picking movies that are a little bit more outside of like the blockbuster movies.
Yeah. Sounds like you're looking for a Sun Cinema Can I Kick It mashup.
I would be there all the time. I would never not go to that.
Sun Cinema, give it to us.
Yeah, that is so the intersection of my interests in like, I love a niche effed up movie. And I love being outside. So that would be a real treat for me.
So what is your movie score?
I'll go 4 on the movies.
Okay. All right. All right. Next up, we have Union Market. This is a drive-in situation. They have a massive parking lot right next to Union Market. So you just drive into there. It's not free if you're driving in, but it is free if you walk up, in which case you sit kind of close to the projector, not actually in the legit parking lot area. I don't know. This one's not for me. I love like the concept of drive-in theaters, but I don't have a car. So I've only ever done the walk-up version, in which case you're so close to the projector that your neck is killing by like a third of the way through the movie. Though I like having the food court right there. I feel like, as in the actual Union Market food hall, I feel like the light from it is really distracting, and like, I don't know. Yeah. Not for me. On location, it's not my favorite. I'm going to give it a 2.
Drag them. Let's go. I think in terms of accessibility, like if you don't have a car, this is definitely not worth it. I think one other thing to note is that for drive-in movies, the audio quality tends to be a little weird. And sometimes it's like not synced with the actual thing because you have to get the right FM frequency or whatever it is.
So right.
So like in terms of actual location and like accessibility, this is like a 2 for me. I will say, the movies do look great, like kind of like a fun time. Like the movies that they've got for this one are Coco, King Richard, Clueless, Top Gun Maverick, and Hairspray. I would definitely see all of those. I would love to see Clueless in a drive-in. Who else wouldn't want to be jamming to like Top Gun Maverick and Danger Zone in their car, freaking out by themselves. Come on.
I've been to a few drive-ins in the area. Some are better than others. I think it's really only worth it if you have a car. And I guess it's free if you don't have a car, so take that for what it's worth. But yeah, I'm with you. I think if you aren't going to come in a car, it might not be so fun. So I would have to give it, I've never been to this particular drive-in, but I might have to go a low rate. I might have to go to like a 2.5.
And then what about movies? I think I'm a 3.
I like a 3.5. I like the selection.
I'm a 3. I'd like to see a theme. I feel like there's not like a thematic.
Yeah.
Like I like when there's some sort of thematic consideration that's been happening.
I agree. Yeah, they're all over the place. All right, we're down to the last one, Audi Field. I actually haven't been to this one, and I actually haven't been to Audi Field at all. So, Julia, I'm going to let you take this one.
Bianca. Okay, so I've not seen a movie at this, but Audi Field as an actual location is a lot of fun. Mostly because, like, the seating area is comfortable. In one section, they have a supporters section where it's, like, standing. So if you don't want to be, like, sitting the entire time, you can get up and stretch your legs. The food choice is, like, it's stadium food, but it's okay. The thing that gets me with this one, for the movie themes, they're going for, like, blockbusters on the Jumbotron. So they've got DC League of Super Pets, another Black Panther Wakanda Forever, a lot of double ups. We have another Shrek sighting, but it is not the original Shrek. We have Puss in Boots, The Last Wish.
That's not canon.
No.
It's Shrek.
That's not
it's
canon.
Shrek. Come on, it is Shrek. We've got Minions, The Rise of Gru, and Jurassic World Dominion. I don't know, man. Like, I would love to go to Audi Field to see a movie just to see what it's like on the Jumbotron and on a big screen and at this field. But man, this movie selection is not giving it to me. I feel like location is like a 3.5 or a 4, but the movie selection is like a 2 for me.
Yeah, I'm not loving this movie selection. Every single one of them seems to be some kind of a remake or a sequel. There's no like standout classic. I feel like with an outdoor movie, you need to have a movie on the lineup that is like a classic everybody can agree on. I don't really see that on this list. I'm sorry. I gotta go a 1. I think this is very uninspired.
I am also a 1 on the movies. Really, really not enjoying that lineup. That's painful. Location-wise, I agree, though, Julia. I would like to see the movies on a huge screen like that. I think that'd be really fun. And I think that being in that kind of arena setting would be kind of cool for an outdoor movie. So I'll give it a 3 for that. And it's only not a 4 because it is like a little bit of a hike for me. But the movies really kill it, dang. Bridget, what's your location ranking?
I've never been to Audi Field. Is it true that it's waterfront? Is that true?
It is waterfront, but I don't know that you can get like the vista in the background as you're watching your movie.
Okay.
You know?
Having not been there, I like the idea of being able to see the water in the background while you're watching an outdoor movie. If that is the case, I'll probably go 4 or 5. If that's not the case, I might go 2. I've not been there, so take that for what it's worth.
Oh man, Bridget, do I have the movie location for you then, which is my personal favorite, and it's the only one I've been to. So obviously, like, we can't list every single DC cinema outdoor thing here. The one that I have been to, and the one that I have found the most joy at, is Sunset Cinema in Georgetown on the water. So you get to overlook the Potomac. They do a theme every year. One time it was like women in film. They've done cult classics. I feel like it's very, like, you could get your eclectic mix of movies spread out. You're looking at a body of water. You're having your nosh. You're watching a movie. That's my personal favorite. So the Georgetown Sunset Cinema. They haven't listed the movies for this year yet, but I will be there once they do announce.
Nice.
It sounds like I could actually get my fix of, like, sitting outside by the water and watching an effed up movie. Like,
yes, this is made for you, Bridget. Come with me. Let's
give me
go.
a Lars von Trier on a blanket and I'm
Let's
a happy
go.
woman.
Other fun ones that haven't really listed yet because they do late summer and fall are The Wharf normally has outdoor movie screenings. Crispus Attucks Park, which we all love. We did an episode on this in the fall. They do outdoor movie screenings. The Library of Congress does as well, and they normally tend to focus on like children's movies. I saw Toy Story there a while ago, and that was really fun. So are you guys ready for the rankings for how we actually placed these.
Oh God.
Let's do it.
I'm so sorry to whoever we tanked. I'm so sorry. Please feel free to convince me though.
I'll go like bottom up. I mean, unsurprisingly, given that we hated their movies, Audi is in last place, Audi Field, with 13.5 points. Next up is Union Market with 16 points. I guess because we all kind of hated on the drive-in thing. After that, we've got Roslyn, because who wants to go to Virginia, with 20 points. And then the top two are really, really, really close, but Admo just barely beat out Franklin Park. So it's 28.5 points for Franklin Park, and Admo got 29. So
Well, but this just turned into basically like hunting for real estate, which is just like location, location, location. Like whatever
Yeah.
location is most convenient for you, like you're probably going to that movie screening and you're probably going to have a blast.
you're right.
By the way, if people have recommendations for us, please tell us where to go see some good movies. If there were ones that we didn't say or recommend, please email us, dc@citycast.fm.
And if this summer, if you see one of us sitting on our blanket/chair we brought from home with like a picnic basket at a summer movie, come say hi.
Yes, come say hi to us.
And before you go, here's some quick news. The DC government just opened a respite center for migrants and asylum seekers arriving on buses from Texas and Arizona. The site, located on New York Ave Northwest, offers migrants up to a week of preliminary services before they can transition to more permanent locations. More than 180 buses of migrants have been sent to DC since last spring as a form of protest against President Joe Biden's border policies. Meanwhile, did you hear that sonic boom on Sunday? Here's what happened. Fighter jets from a local Air Force base used supersonic speed to intercept a private plane over Virginia, causing a blast to her across the district. Apparently, the pilot of the plane was unresponsive to air traffic messages and crashed, killing all 4 passengers on board. Also, after a lengthy review process, DC has finally picked a team to redevelop the Franklin D. Reeves Center at the intersection of 14th and U Streets. The plans include a new national headquarters for the NAACP, a hotel, and more than 300 housing units, entertainment spaces, restaurants, and more. We did an episode a few months ago about how tough this decision has been for the city, and that's because the Reeves Center has the potential to really change the culture of U Street corridor. We'll link to our episode in the show notes so you can check it out. And lastly, low-income DC residents who qualify for SNAP benefits will be eligible for half-off Metro fare starting on June 20th. WMATA estimates that 90,000 DC residents will benefit from this program called Metro Lift. It's expected to cost the city about $4 million. That's all for today here on CityCast DC. And if you enjoyed the show, sign up for our newsletter, Hey DC, as well. Our editor, Kayla, has so many good summer tips for you. And be sure to tune in to the next edition of our Summer Entertainment Guide series next Tuesday. It'll be all about the incredible events and activities on offer at Anacostia Park. You don't want to miss it. We'll be back tomorrow morning with even more news from around the city. Talk to you then.
Drag us in the comments for the fact that I have not seen Everything Everywhere All at Once. It's fine. I can take it.